Misty's distribution came out of the stock today, since today is X date, and we're still holding pretty tight at that $19 range. Go Misty. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So Misty went X today and the price did drop down, but ended up coming back up ever so slightly by the end of the day. So we are still above what we've drawn here as our support line. And after hours right now, it's at $19. It did close at $18.89. It paid out that $1.38 out of the price of the stock. Now that distribution won't pay until tomorrow, but that price of that distribution does come out of the stock, and it came out first thing this morning. And I can show you what that looks like here. And if we look at a 5-minute chart. All right, so here we are looking at the 5-minute chart on Misty. And as you can see, this black area here in the center, that is the trading day for today. This is the after hours of today, and this is the pre-market from today. If we just slide over ever so slightly here, you can see where it was at yesterday, and it traded, and then it stopped, at that 8 o'clock last night, and then it drops and takes out that $1.38 out of the price of the stock. Now it could come down more, or it could come down not as much. It just depends on the fluctuation of the market at that time. So as you can see here at the 4 o'clock a.m., it did show where that distribution came out. So just kind of wanted to show you a little visual of what that looks like when that distribution goes X, or when the stock itself goes X. That amount of the distribution does come out of the price of the stock, and when it opens the next day, it will account for that distribution being taken out of that price. Okay, so here we are back on the day chart for Misty. And as you can see, that's that support line that we've had there for a little while now, where it was bouncing off of it, and we're just kind of still hanging on it. We can look at Misty as well, just to get an idea of what the underlying looks like. And this is the Misty, and I have that same somewhat of a support line here in reference to that previous one for Misty. And as you can see, where it was just bouncing off, and it's just kind of still hanging out around that price. And if we look at Bitcoin, will help us to see what's happening with Misty and Misty. You can see we've been going down a little bit. We did have a little bit of a rally, and then we've had another drop even in Bitcoin. But that's pretty much what's happening for the last few weeks, really. You can look, here's the SPY, and I mean, that's just nasty, right? Where we were up around $613, and that was just in February the 19th. We were at $613, and now we're at $551. And dropped as low as $549.68. So it's been rough in the market for sure. So definitely make sure that you are cautious with your buys and do your homework to make sure that you're getting into your stocks that you want to hold long term. Now this could definitely be great buy time, but you still have to be cautious, as you don't want to use up all your cash up front and it continue to drop, and you're missing out on being able to purchase even at lower prices. So let's take a look at Misty on the YieldMax website. All right, so here we are on the YieldMax website for Misty. It looks like the distribution rate is at 88.74%. Here's the list of distributions that has been paid out for Misty. We're at $1.30 to $2, $2.20, $3, $4.40, $4, $1.85, $3, $4, $2.50. So I'm just going to say roughly maybe between $2.25 to $2.50 on average of the distribution. Now that's not guaranteed. it could continue to go down, or it can go back up in distributions. It just really all depends. We've got a net assets for Misty of $2.15 billion. And here's a list of their holdings. As you can see, they have a lot in the U.S. Treasury, probably just because of the way the market has been. They've got some in those bonds to help capture some safe money there. And that will, of course, bring down the distribution amounts, but it does help to be able to pay out those distributions too, especially if the market's going against you on your calls. Just looking at this, they also have, looks like a 260 call and a 250 call for April 17th, along with a 330 call. Mr. currently is around about $260 per share. So this one here with the 260 call, that one there is in the money, but it's got plenty of time left on it. It's out until April 17th. This one's 250. So this one here is also in the money, but again, it's got some time left on it. And then you got a 330 with time on it as well. But it looks like they do have a good bit of treasury bonds and bills over here to help bring in some more of for sure money. Right here, if you click this download all holdings, you'll get a spreadsheet that looks like this. Okay, so here we are looking at that spreadsheet. You can see it shows out pretty much about everything that they have going on currently. Just looking at it real quick here, and you can look at it for yourself. For the March 14th here, which expires tomorrow, looks like they've got the lowest being 275 call. And since the price of Mr. is 263, all of these here looks like they're going to be in good shape and will probably just expire worthless, which means that they will not have to pay money to close them. Now, they probably will not let it go to expiration because they do not want to take the chance of it going into the money and having to pay to close. So they probably will end up closing these tomorrow at some point for sure. And they've got 3 here for April 17th. There's a 250, a 260, and a 330. And we saw those on the previous screen looking at the YieldMax website. So very interesting. Looks like we got some good ones getting ready to come through. So that's good money. If they can keep that going, we might get a pretty good distribution next month. So anyway, what was your thoughts about the distribution today? Since it went X, we will get paid out that $1.38 tomorrow, which of course brought that price of Misty down a bit. And we are sitting right at around that $19 range. But I still like the fact that it is staying above that low that we've had. I just would like for it to continue to move up some to give us a little bit more breathing room. The MACD here has just been kind of flat. As you can see, even the volumes here, they're all very low. Even though they are green, they are just very low. Not a whole lot of volume there. And our RSI here, for the 14 interval RSI, we're at a 36.73. So we are almost getting to the point of being oversold. So that's a good sign as far as in hopefully getting to the point of it getting oversold and then exhausting those sellers and being able to rally back up so we can actually start getting this thing to move up. But with the overall market, for example here, the S&P 500 just on a tear, downward tear, is not a positive thing. So we may see Misty and other stocks to continue to go down if we do not find a bottom at some point. Right now, we're still falling down and trying to find that bottom. But as I've said before, for me, that just means those are good buy times for me on some of my bigger stocks. But for Misty, currently, I am holding what I have, and only because I don't know where that bottom is. If I knew this was the bottom, I would be loading up, right? I would definitely load up if I knew we were sitting at the bottom right now. But I don't. and my cash is getting a little low. So I'm having to slow down on my purchases as I don't want to use up all of my dry powder just in case we get even lower prices, and I don't want to not have any money to be able to average in at those prices. I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. Don't forget to like and share this video. And if you would please hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.